Good morning. Yeah. In my previous video, we discussed about fifth module, that is computerized accounting system. Now one more module is remaining, that is third module. It is about final accounts. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss all theoretical aspects in connection with final accounts. And in my next video, I will come up with some one or two problems on final accounts. Yeah, let's go through the contents of this particular module. This particular module is all about final accounts. What is final account? You people know about accounting cycle. There are 5 phases in accounting cycle. Like it begins with business transaction, followed by journal, journal to ledger, ledger to trial balance, and trial balance to final accounts. Right. So, what is the meaning of final accounts? Say here in final accounts, we are going to ascertain the results of the business. What is that results? Whether firm is running in a profit or it is running in a loss. How is the liquidity position of the firm and how is the solvency position of the firm? We are going to determine these all things with the help of what? With the help of final accounts. See here, as we all know that journal is base for ledger. Ledger is base for trial balance and a trial balance will become base for what? Final accounts. By preparing journal, by preparing ledger and even by preparing trial balance, will not get to know about the result of the business. They are just accounting data. I mean, you can say that it is just a database. Which one? Journal and ledger. With the help of that journal and ledger, at the end of the year we need to prepare trial balance, and at the end of the year we need to prepare final accounts. By that we will get to know about the result of the business. Understood? So it is introduction part in connection with final account. Let's see what is the exact meaning of final accounts. Final accounts are the accounts or statements which are prepared by companies periodically. Which are prepared by companies periodically. Periodically means once in a 6 months or once in a year, they need to prepare it. Usually, companies will prepare their final accounts once in a year. So, these are the statements which are prepared by companies periodically to know their financial performance and financial position. To know their financial performance. What it is? To know their financial performance means whether they are running in profit or they are suffering from losses. And to know their financial position, it is nothing but to know whether they are having sufficient liquid assets or not, whether they are solvent or insolvent. In order to know this particular thing, they prepare what? Companies prepares final accounts. So very simple, these are the statements that are prepared by companies at the end of the accounting year to know their financial performance and financial position. Understood? That is what, that is the meaning of final accounts. In very simple words, these are the statements prepared by companies periodically to know their financial progress. To know their financial progress or to know their periodical progress. That one is called as what? That one is called as final accounts. Yes. Further, what are the objectives of final accounts? See here, objective is nothing but why we need to prepare final accounts. The first thing is, yeah, I told you people about functions of accounting. There are totally 7 functions in the field of accounting, such as identifying, measuring, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and analyzing and interpreting. And last one is communicating. So, how you people are going to communicate accounting information to stakeholders? That is by preparing final account. So, the major objective behind preparation of final account is communicating reliable and relevant information to stakeholders. That is the first objective. Which one? To provide reliable and relevant information to various stakeholders. And second important objective of this final account is to know the true and fair view of the business. To know the true and fair view of the business. What is this? To know the true and fair view of the business, whether firm is running in a profit or it is running in a loss, whether it is a solvent business or it is a insolvent business. To know this particular thing, we need to prepare this final accounts. And third important objective behind preparation of this final account is to fulfilling the legal obligations of Companies Act. Companies Act meaning there are certain regulatory bodies like Companies Act, or you can Companies Act 2013, or you can say some other acts like Income Tax Act, or it may be Chamber of Commerce, or it may be District Industry Center, that they expect that every companies must prepare their final accounts at least once in a year, and they must submit it to concerned authorities. So in order to fulfill that legal obligation, what we need to do, we need to prepare final account. We need to prepare final account. Okay, we'll go ahead. Next aspect is, now we discussed what is the meaning of final account and what are the objectives of final account. Now let us go to next aspect, that is types of financial statement. Instead of calling it as a types of financial statement, better we'll call it as a composition of financial statement or final accounts. Meaning final accounts of the company includes which all things, final account of the company includes which all things. See here, final account of the company usually it consists of three things. And one more very important thing that I wanted to tell you people is, whatever final accounts right now we are discussing, these are the final accounts of sole trading concern. There are wide variety of businesses like sole trading concern, partnership firm, cooperative businesses, Hindu undivided families, joint stock companies. So here procedure for preparing final account is differ from one business to another business. So whatever we are discussing right now, it is all about final accounts of sole trading concern. So final accounts of sole trading concern consist three things. First one is a trading account, second one is a profit and loss account, and the third one is a balance sheet. So what is the composition of final account in case of sole trading concern? Composition of final account, it includes a trading account, second one is profit and loss account, and third one is balance sheet. Now let's see that what is the meaning of trading account and why we should prepare a trading account and what is its format. Similarly, we'll discuss about profit and loss account, and last we will discuss about balance sheet. So let us discuss first about trading account. What is a trading? Trading is nothing but manufacturing. Trading is nothing but day-to-day activities of the business. They are actually called as what? Trading activities. See here, trading account, it is a account which is prepared to know the gross profit or gross loss of the business. What is this gross profit or gross loss? The profit that is earned from the activities of the business, from the main or core activities of the business, that particular thing is called as gross profit or gross loss. In very simple words, trading account, it is a account which is made up with direct expenses and direct incomes. In this particular account, we are going to record all direct expenses and direct incomes that are pertaining to our business. Understood? By that, we will get to know what is gross profit or gross loss of the business. That particular account is known as what? It is known as a trading accounts. Here, trading account, profit and loss account, both are nominal accounts. Both are nominal accounts. What is the rule of nominal account? The rule of nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So here, on the debit side of trading account, we should record all direct expenses, and on the credit side of trading account, we have to record all direct incomes. As I told you people, this account consists, it is made up with what? It is made up with all direct expenses and incomes, and it is prepared to ascertain gross profit or gross loss of the business. So it is there in T shape. It is there in T shape, where on the left hand side, you people need to record all direct expenses, and on the right hand side, you people need to record all direct incomes. Understood? Okay. And at last, we need to close this particular account. If you people are finding balancing figure on the debit side, it indicates that it is a gross profit. If you people found balancing figure on the credit side, it indicates that it is a gross loss. Whether it is gross profit or it is gross loss, it must be transferred to profit and loss account, because this trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet, these all are interrelated statements. Understood? The outcome of trading account should be transferred to profit and loss account, and the outcome of profit and loss account must be transferred to balance sheet. Okay, it is it is about the trading account. Now let us discuss about the format of this trading account. It is divided into two sides, like debit side and credit side. And as I told you people, on the debit side, we need to record all direct expenses, and on the credit side, we need to record all direct incomes. Okay, yeah. This here, This format is made up with certain prominent items that you people may find at the time of examination. So please concentrate properly. Actually, this trading account, it begins with opening stock. It begins with opening stock and it ends with closing stock. So opening stock, it is as good as expense. It is as good as expense because we are going to use it in business. Understood? So opening stock is as good as expense. You must consider it as a direct expense and you must record it on the debit side of trading account. So first one is opening stock, followed by purchases, that is raw materials purchased by the company. Direct expense. No, what is direct expenses? The expenses that are incurred till producing the goods, that one is called as direct expense. After production of goods, whatever expenses will incur, they are called as indirect expenses or indirect income. So here, first we should record opening stock and it is followed by purchases. It is nothing but raw materials purchased should be recorded on the debit side of trading account. And you must record net purchases. What is net purchases? There will be certain purchases return. That returns must be deducted from the purchases. Whatever you will get, that one is called as net purchases. Here you can see 50,000 is purchases, 5,000 is purchases returns. So what is your net purchases? 45,000 rupees your net purchases. So always you should record which purchases? Net purchases. Understood? Okay. Then next one is, yeah, first one is opening stock followed by purchases. Next item will be wages. What is wages? Wages is nothing but labor charges. The money that is paid to laborers who were engaged in conversion of raw material into finished goods. There is a lots of difference between the term wages and salary. Wages will be given to people who are engaged in production activity, and salary will be given to people who are engaged in administrative activity. So here wages, it is a direct expense because here people are directly involved in production activities of the business. So that is the reason we should record wages on the debit side of trading account. Sometimes you people will find certain adjustments on wages. What would be that adjustment? That adjustment will be outstanding wages. Sometimes they will give. So keep in mind, while preparing final accounts, you should remember two things. One is, if there are any outstanding expenses, they must be added. If there are any outstanding expenses, they must be added. And if there are any prepaid expenses, they must be deducted. They must be deducted. So once again, outstanding expenses must be added and prepaid expenses must be deducted. So there will be wages, and if there are any outstanding wages, it must be added to that wages. By that you will get net wages or total wages. Then other direct expenses like carriage inwards, that is transportation expenses incurred for raw materials. Then freight charges. Freight charges are nothing but this custom duties we need to pay, no? Or you can say that we need to pay certain amount of tax to the government or custom authorities, that is called as freight charges. Then the next thing is water, water, gas and power that is consumed during the time of production. That must be considered while preparing trading account. And another thing that we need to consider is trade expenses. Another thing that we need to consider is what? It is a trade expenses. So these are certain prominent expenses which we must record on the debit side of what? On the debit side of trading account. So let us recall all the items. It begins with opening stock, followed by purchases, then wages, then carriage inwards, freight charges, or you can say octroi. Both are one and same. Then water, gas, and power that is consumed during the time of production. Then other expenses, that is other manufacturing expenses or trade expenses, must be recorded on the debit side of trading account. Then later, credit side, we need to record all direct incomes. Credit side is very simple because there will be only two direct incomes. One is a sales and another one is a closing stock. How we considered opening stock as expense, no? Now you people should consider closing stock as a income, a kind of direct income. So first one will be sales, and here also you people must consider net sales. How to calculate that net sales? Sales less returns, you people will get net sales. Then later we need to record what? We need to record closing stock. As I told you people, trading account begins with which stock? It begins with the opening stock and it ends with recording of closing stock. Understood? So on the debit side, you need to record all direct expenses, and on the credit side, you need to record all direct incomes. Direct incomes includes only two things. One is a sales and another one is a closing stock. Now, After recording this direct expenses and direct incomes in a trading account, at last you people need to close this particular account, and you people know the procedure of closing of an account. Make total of debit side or credit side, whichever is more, whichever is more. So which side total will be more, that side total you must make it first, and the same figure should be taken on the opposite side. The same figure should be taken it on the opposite side. Later you should find out what, you should find out balancing figure. Suppose if credit side total is more, you should take the same figure on the debit side, and later on the debit side you will find some balancing figure. That balancing figure should be treated as a gross profit. It must be treated as gross profit. Suppose if total of debit side is more, you should take the same figure on the credit side, and on the credit side you will find some balancing figure. That balancing figure must be treated as gross loss. Understood? So it is how we need to prepare trading account. As I told you people, this particular account is made up with direct expenses and direct incomes. On the debit side we need to record direct expenses, and on the credit side we need to record direct incomes, and the outcome of this particular account will be gross profit or gross loss. If you found balancing figure on the debit side, it will be gross profit. If you found it on the credit side, then it will be gross loss. Whether it is gross profit or it is gross loss, it must be transferred to next account, that is profit and loss account. Which account? Profit and loss account. Now let us move to next component of this final account, that is profit and loss account. As I told you people, the final accounts of the company consist of three things. It consists of three things. First one is a trading account, second one is a profit and loss account, and the third one is a balance sheet. See here, profit and loss account is also similar to trading account. It is also nominal account. Nominal account means on the debit side, we need to record all expenses and losses, and on the credit side, we need to record all incomes and gains. But in this particular account, we are going to record all indirect expenses and incomes. We are going to record all indirect expenses and incomes. What is this indirect expenses? See here, after production of goods or the cost that is not directly associated with the production, that kind of expenses are called as what? They are called as indirect expenses. For example, we will pay rent, we will pay salary, we'll pay interest, we'll pay tax, will pay insurance premium, will spend money for repairs and maintenance. These all are considered as what? These all are considered as indirect expense. See here, apart from those 6 to 7 expenses such as opening stock, purchases, wages, carriage inwards, octroi, then next one is a trade expenses, water, gas, power. Apart from this, these expenses, if you people found any other expenses, they must be recorded in profit and loss account because they will be indirect expenses. So very simple concept. First of all, this account is made up with what? Indirect expenses and indirect incomes. On the debit side, we need to record indirect expenses, and on the credit side, we must record indirect incomes. Understood? And the output of this particular account will be, it may be net profit or net loss. The output of trading account will be gross profit or gross loss. The output of this profit and loss account will be net profit or net loss. Okay. See here, first of all, it is a account which is prepared with the help of revenue incomes and revenue expenses. That is indirect incomes and indirect expenses, indirect incomes and indirect expenses, and it is prepared to know the net profit or net loss of the business. Yes, this is the format of profit and loss account, where on the debit side, you people need to record all indirect expenses or revenue expenses recurring in nature, and on the credit side, you need to record all indirect incomes. Let's see which all items appears on the debit side of this profit and loss account. See here, first thing is the outcome of trading account must be transferred to profit and loss account. Suppose if there is a gross profit, what is the outcome of trading account? It may be gross profit or it may be gross loss. Suppose if you people found gross profit with a trading account, it must be recorded on the credit side of profit and loss account. Credit side means income side, no? So if there is a gross profit, it must be recorded on the credit side of profit and loss account. And if there is a gross loss, then it must be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. Understood? Okay. So this particular account, it begins with gross profit or gross loss. Further, on the debit side, you need to record all indirect expenses such as salary, rent, printing and stationery, postage and telegram, general charges, audit fees, repairs and maintenance, depreciation, advertisement, bad debts, traveling expenses, carriage outwards. Carriage inwards is belongs to trading account because that is transportation expenses related to raw material. Carriage outward is belongs to profit and loss account because it is transportation expenses relating to finished goods. So traveling expenses, carriage outwards, bad debts, then commission paid, discount allowed, interest paid, etc. These all things should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. Indirect expenses. What? Indirect expenses. Now on the credit side, you people need to record all indirect incomes. What are the indirect incomes? First, you people need to record gross profit. Later, there will be certain indirect incomes such as rent received, discount received, interest received, commission received, prepaid expenses, bad debts recovered, etc. Understood? Prominent items are, one will be gross profit, another one will be rent received, discount received, interest received, commission received, etc. These all, one more important item is profit on sale of asset. These all things should be recorded on the credit side of profit and loss account. Credit side of profit and loss account. Okay. So on the debit side, we are going to record these all indirect expenses, and on the credit side, we are going to record these all indirect incomes. Indirect incomes. At last, you people need to close this particular account. Again, procedure will be remain same. Total of debit side or credit side, whichever is more. Understood? And suppose if the total of credit side is more, take the same figure on the debit side and find out the balancing figure. If you found balancing figure on the debit side of profit and loss account, it should be considered as net profit. See here, these are your incomes and these are your expenses. If credit side total is more, it means what? If your incomes are more than your expenses, then you will find some profit. That profit should be considered as which profit? It should be considered as net profit. Understood? So if you are finding balancing figure on the debit side of profit and loss account, it is net profit. If you are finding balancing figure on the credits side of profit and loss account, then it should be treated as net loss. Whether it is net profit or it is net loss, it must be transferred to which one? It must be transferred to balance sheet. As I told you people, that these all are interrelated. Outcome of trading account is gross profit or gross loss, it must be transferred to profit and loss account. Outcome of profit and loss account is net profit or net loss, it must be transferred to balance sheet. Yes, now let us discuss about balance sheet. Let us discuss about balance sheet. Let us discuss about balance sheet now. As I told you people, the components, or you can say the composition of final account, it includes three things such as trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. See here, you people recorded all the expenses and incomes with trading account and profit and loss account. In trading account, you people have recorded all direct expenses and income, and in profit and loss account, you people have recorded all indirect expenses and indirect incomes. Now, what is this balance sheet? Why it is meant for? Or for what it should be prepared? Yes, let's see what is the meaning of balance sheet. See here, the name itself, it indicates balance sheet, meaning here it is going to balance. It is going to balance. That how you people found output with the trading account and profit and loss account, such as gross profit and net profit. Like that, here you people are not going to find any balancing figures or output. Meaning this particular statement is prepared to know the liquidity position and solvency position of the business. In order to know the profitability, we need to prepare trading account and profit and loss account. In order to know the liquidity position and solvency position of the business, we need to prepare what? We need to prepare balance sheet. So what is balance sheet? Balance sheet, it is a statement which is made up with assets and liabilities. Keep in mind, balance sheet is not a account, it is a statement. So we should not write the abbreviation of debit and credit to balance sheet. Understood? So balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities which is prepared to know the financial position of the business. Financial position of the business is nothing but to know the liquidity position and solvency position of the business. That particular statement is called as a balance sheet. So balance sheet is a statement made up with assets and liabilities, and it is prepared periodically to know the financial position of the business. Understood? That particular statement is known as a balance sheet. Here you can see it is prepared periodically to know the periodical progress of the business. All three, that is trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet, all these are prepared periodically, that is at the end of the accounting year. Yes. See here, it is a statement and it is also divided into two sides, but not as a debit side and credit side. It is divided into two sides, such as liability side and asset side, liability side and asset side. So first, let us concentrate on the liability side of the balance sheet. Later, we'll discuss about assets. Here, what is the meaning of liability? Liability is nothing but the money that business need to pay to outsiders. The money that business need to pay to outsiders, that is called as liability. There are two types of liabilities, internal liability and external liability. Internal liability is related to owner and external liability is related to outsiders. Understood? Whether it is internal or external, that does not matter. It must be recorded on the liability side of the balance sheet. Outsiders, owner is also outsider as far as accounting is concerned. Which concept? Entity concept. Owner and the business are two separate entities. Okay. So here on the liability side, actually you people have to record the liabilities in order. First, it is better to record capital. Later, it is better to record long-term borrowings or liabilities. Later, it is better to record current liabilities. So first, what we need to record? First, we need to record capital. And from that capital, first we should deduct drawings. What is a drawings? What is capital? Capital is nothing but money contributed by owner into the business is known as capital, and money withdrawn by owner from business is known as drawing. So we should know actually how much, or you can say exactly how much money is contributed by the owner. If you wanted to know this particular thing, you should deduct the drawings from the capital. So first you people have to record capital. From capital, you people need to deduct the drawings. By that, you people will get net capital. Now to this net capital, you people need to add net profit or net loss. Where you people will find net profit or net loss? You will find it in profit and loss account. So that net profit or net loss must be transferred to balance sheet. No, yeah, it must be transferred here. It must be added to this net capital. Understood? Yeah, if there is a net profit, it must be added to net capital. If there is a net loss, it must be deducted from the net capital. By that, you people will get to know what is the exact amount of capital contributed by the owner. Then later, after recording capital, you people need to record all long-term liabilities. Like if you are taken any loans from the banks, such as long-term loan and all, and if you people are accepted any long-term deposits from the public, hmm, those all things should be recorded below the capital. Then after recording long-term liabilities, the next thing that you people need to record is all current liabilities. What is the meaning of current liability? The money that is need to pay within 1 year, that one is called as current liability. So we'll take short-term loans. For example, we'll take loan for a period of 6 months. It must be returned within, it must be repaid within 6 months. That is called as current liability. Then bank overdraft will come, creditors will come, bills payable will come, outstanding expenses will come. And if any of the expenses, if any of the incomes are received in advance, those all things should be considered as current liabilities. Understood? And must be recorded on the liability side of the balance sheet under a head called current liabilities. Now I will tell you people some prominent current liabilities. First one is creditors. Second one is bills payable. Third one is bank overdraft. And fourth one is outstanding expenses. These are four prominent current liabilities which you people may find it in each and every trial balance. Understood? So they must be recorded on the liability side of the balance sheet. Long-term liability means the liability which is due after 1 year, which is to be paid after 1 year or 2 years, they are called as long-term liability. If any of the liability need to pay within 1 year, they are called as short-term liabilities, are nothing but current liabilities. So four prominent current liabilities are creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, and outstanding expenses. Usually these items appears in trial balance. Okay. Then let us move to asset side. Here, assets are again how liabilities are split into three parts, like capital, long-term liabilities, and current liabilities. Like that, even assets are split into three parts. First one is fixed asset, second one is investment, and third one is current asset. What is the meaning of fixed asset? The asset that we will hold for a long period of time. The asset that is purchased for use, that one is called as fixed asset. So which all items comes under fixed asset, such as land, building, furniture, fixtures, plant, machinery, vehicle, goodwill, patents, these all things will come under fixed asset. Fixed asset may be tangible asset or it may be intangible asset, but business must be in a condition to preserve that particular asset for a period of more than 1 year. Understood? So though are called as what? They are called as fixed asset. Then later you people need to record investments. If there are any investments, it must be recorded. See here, what is investment? If we invested money with our business, it is called as capital. If we invested money with somebody's business, it is called as investment. So investment is also a kind of property or asset. It must be recorded below the fixed asset. Then after investment, we need to record all current assets. What is the meaning of current assets? The asset that can be get converted into cash within a very short period of time, that is called as current asset. Or the asset that we need to hold on short-term basis, that asset is called as current asset. So here current assets includes cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, sundry debtors, closing stock, prepaid expenses, etc. These are five to six prominent current assets are: first one is cash in hand, second one is cash at bank, third one is debtors, fourth one is bills receivables, fifth one is stock, and sixth one is prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses should be considered as current asset. See here, outstanding expenses are liabilities, prepaid expenses are assets. Apart from these current assets, you people may find short-term investment or marketable securities, or you people may find outstanding incomes. These all things should be considered as what? Current assets. So you need to record all the assets and liabilities with the balance sheet. Liabilities must be recorded on the left hand side, assets must be recorded on the right hand side. At last, we must make total of both the side of the balance sheet, and it must tally. It must what? It must tally. That is a balance sheet. It must be balanced. Assets and liabilities must be balanced. The reason behind preparation of this balance sheet is what? To know the financial position of the business. Okay. Now, in 5 minutes, we'll discuss another important concept, that is hints for preparation of final account. If you people remember this particular hints, these particular hints, then you people can easily solve problems on final account. The first thing that you people should remember is always a trial balance is base for preparation of final account. So it is prepared on the basis of trial balance. Okay. Now, further hints are very important. See here, for preparing final accounts, they will give you people two things. One is a trial balance and another thing is adjustment. They will give you people trial balance, and along with that trial balance, they will give you people some additional information or adjustment. See here, the items that are appeared in a trial balance, or the items that are there with the trial balance, they will appear for only one time in final account. They will appear only for one time. It may appear with the trading account, or it may appear with profit and loss account, or it may appear with the balance sheet. Understood? So they will be having how many effects? One effect. Now, the second thing is, yes, the items of trial balance will be having one effect, but along with the trial balance, they will give you people some adjustment. Those adjustments will be having how many effects? Two effects. And out of two effects, one effect must be with the balance sheet. One effect must be with balance sheet. Okay, we'll proceed further. Might be that thing is covered at last year. Here, the adjustment items will have two effects. One effect must be with balance sheet. Okay. Then the next thing, very important thing, see here, already we studied trial balance, and that trial balance is based for preparation of final account. If you are well versed with the trial balance, then you will not face much difficulty in preparing final accounts. Here trial balance means there will be two amount columns like debit column and credit column. Debit column and credit column. See here, the items that are showing debit balance in trial balance, either they will be assets or they will be expenses or losses. The items that are showing debit balance in trial balance, either they will be assets or they will be expenses or losses. Understood? So where they will appear, either they will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet, or they must appear on the debit side of trading account and profit and loss account, because they will be either assets or they will be either what? Expenses and losses. Understood? So they must appear either on the asset side of the balance sheet, otherwise it must appear on the debit side of trading account and profit and loss account. It means the items that are showing debit balance and trial balance will never appear on the credit side of trading account and profit and loss account, and will never appear on the asset side of the balance. Sorry, they never appear on the liability side of the balance sheet. Are you getting my point? Once again, I will repeat. The items that are showing debit balance in trial balance, they never appears on the credit side of trading account and profit and loss account. At the same time, it will never appear on the liability side of the balance sheet. Either it must appear on the asset side of the balance sheet, otherwise it must appear on the debit side of trading account and profit and loss account. Very important hint. And another hint is the items that are showing credit balance in trial balance. The items that are showing credit balance in trial balance, either they will be incomes or gains, or they will be liabilities. Either they will be incomes or gains, or they will be liabilities. Suppose if it is income, then it appears on the credit side of trading account or profit and loss account. If it is direct income, it appears on the credit side of trading account. If it is indirect income, it appears on the credit side of profit and loss account. So either it may be income, or it may be gain, or it may be liability. It may be liability. Suppose if it is liability, it appears on the liability side of the balance sheet. In other words, in simple words, the items that are showing credit balance in a trial balance, they never appears on the debit side of trading account or profit and loss account. At the same time, they never appears on the asset side of the balance sheet. Understood? So these 5 hints you people must keep in mind for solving problems on what? For solving problems on final account. So in my next video, hope you people understood these all things. In my next video, I will come up with certain problems on this final account. Yes, thank you so much. Go through the video at least for 2 to 3 times, especially go through the formats, because you people are going to get one 5-mark problem on final account, and you are going to get one 10-mark problem on final account, and you people may get minimum 2 to 3 2-mark theory questions on this final account. Understood? So there are 5 modules, and it is going to happen with all 5 modules, like 2 3 questions from each module, and one question of 5 mark from each module, and one question of 10 mark from each module. They may give equal weightage at the time of setting the question paper. So go through the video properly. Yeah, if you are having any difficulties, you can post it on WhatsApp group. Yeah, we'll have a discussion on that. Hope you people understood. Thank you so much.